All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is May 3rd. We only have one playoff game to jump into today. We have the Celtics taking on the Sixers in what should be a revenge game for the Celtics after blowing that lead and losing the game in game one. Right now, the Sixers lead this series 1-0. Celtics are 10-point favorites in this one. I've seen 9.5 on some sports books. Still want to dive into which way this line is moving, so keep an eye on the pinned comment for all my final plays, but obviously one game, anything that I'm talking about here is most likely where I'm leaning in terms of a final play. And then in terms of a total, we're looking at 216.5 in this game. What we're still obviously going to be waiting on is the status of Joel Embiid. He is listed as doubtful right now. When he was listed as doubtful last game in game one, he did not play. So we shall see. But if the Sixers are showing anything, James Harden can step up in need of Joel Embiid's absence there, and the Celtics can disappear with a big lead at any given moment. We saw that to close the series against Atlanta as well. I'm a massive Celtics fan. I watch every minute, every dribble of every Celtics game, and I can admit that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown disappear. That being said, if Embiid is a no-go tonight, I am looking at the Celtics in this one minus the 10 points. I wouldn't hate buying down to minus 9.5 unless we can get a line like on FanDuel right now, minus 9.5 or minus 109 odds. I do like that. Again, I kind of want to wait this out to see where Embiid ends up, because if Embiid does play, I bet you can get the Celtics here at, minus 7.5 or something like that. And I do think the Celtics come back in a decent way tonight. Call me crazy, but even if you're a Celtics hater, a Boston sports fan hater, you have to be able to admit that this is a spot where the Celtics are going to climb back and get in the driver's seat of this series. I think they match up really well against the Sixers. James Harden went absolutely nuclear. We know that. But can he do that 2 games in a row? I don't think so without Embiid. And if he does do it 2 games in a row, then I can sit back and go, you know what? I'll reassess this series. But I do think right now, and this is not biased, this is just strictly speaking, it could be any team. It could be Team Blue versus Team Purple. I think that this is a spot where Team Blue, being the Celtics, come back from an absolutely demoralizing loss in game one and at least control the game. That's why I'm looking at that 9.5. I really don't want, I would like them to have to win by, double digits, not necessarily 11 points. I know we're splitting hairs there, but this is a Celtics game for me, but it's all going to come down to whether or not Embiid is in or out. Because if Embiid is in and they do move the line, then I would like that. But if this line stays at 8.5, 9.5, 10, even with Embiid in, I probably don't pull the trigger on it, because think about it. The Celtics can win this game in dominant fashion, like I'm saying, and control the game, right? But they could still win by 7 points and never let the Sixers get close in the fourth and that type of thing. So I don't love the line where it is right now, but I do love the thought of the Celtics coming in and really dominating, playing good basketball. So I'm going to lean towards the Celtics here. I'm going to go minus 9.5 because we can get that right now on FanDuel. The graphic that I made is a little old here. I'm going to lean the Celtics minus 9.5, all dependent on whether or not Embiid is a go. You do have Marcus Smart also on the injury report. He left with, I think, a rib injury or a chest injury. Didn't leave the game, but obviously showed signs of discomfort, but then played really well in the fourth quarter. And then you have Jason Tatum probable with a groin injury. I have to imagine Jason Tatum plays, and that kind of came out of nowhere. So no injuries, at least, to note on the Celtics side of things. Before we get to the total, guys, I do want to talk to you guys about something that Thrive Fantasy is offering as of right now. Thrive Fantasy, usually when you go 4 for 4 in your player prop picks over there, they pay 10.2 times. Well, they're paying up to 11 times your money now, guys. So make sure to check out Thrive Fantasy. All you have to do is pick 4 player props. You can even pick 2, but this is the new boost on most Wednesdays here, and it takes action today at 10 a.m. Eastern time, guys. Make sure to deposit with code GUYBOSSON. Pick 4 player props. If they all get correct, you 11 times your money. So go ahead and look at this game, and based on their projections, do you think they're going to go more or less? Head over there, use that link in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment as well, but definitely a really good time to get into Thrive Fantasy. I've been liking Thrive Fantasy a lot. I've talked about it on the channel before. I talk about it on TikTok and Instagram Reels all the time for my player props, because I really like what they have going on over there. They have the normal contests where you play against peer-to-peer, and based on your lineups that you pick, you get points and rank amongst them, right? But then they also have the more prize picks approach that you guys are more familiar with in terms of picking, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, and based on how many of those you get correct, you get paid accordingly. So check out Thrive 2.5. It supports me too if you use that link. So it's something that you're going to have fun with. You can go over there and put $25 into your account. They're going to match that deposit. You'll have $50 in your account. You'll have fun with it, picking player props, following along these playoffs, and it also supports me. So consider doing that today, guys. Definitely a good way to support the channel. Make sure to use the link in the description or my pinned comment, or use code GUYBOSTON when depositing, guys. But let's get back to this game because I want to talk about the total. I really like the over in this game if Joel Embiid doesn't play. We saw 119 to 115 last game, but the pace of play is what I want to talk about. They were playing at a good pace of play, and that happens when Joel Embiid is not in the Sixers lineup. So if Joel Embiid is not a go here tonight, I like this total. I think that even if he does play, they might move this total from 216. They might move it on you and move the line. So I don't want to say gamble on the line, but if you don't think Joel Embiid's going to play, you might want to take the total where it is now. You don't want this thing to move around and them to be able to get you and make you think something like, I would think a lot of this could just be me, right? I would think a lot of casual NBA fans would see 216.5. And then Joel Embiid gets ruled in, and then Vegas is like, all right, let's move it up to 220. And then casual NBA fans are like, another superstar's playing, more points, let's take the over. I think that that's where you can get got. Like, I think that this is a spot where Joel Embiid would actually move this line down if he does play. And we saw it in game one. He did not play. And again, it was a 119 to 115 game. So as of right now, I really do like this line. I don't like it as much if Embiid plays, but this would be a spot where I say I don't think it's too early to take the pick. Celtics spread, yes. I 100% say wait out the Embiid news. It's the smart thing to do. But looking at this here in terms of a total, I like 216.5 right away. Can it go under? It's playoff basketball. No kidding. It can go under. You know, you don't have to hate on me for taking the over pre-game. If you're going to hate on me during the, or pre-game, I guess. You spun it on me. You guys win. The haters win, but they don't boo nobodies. But I do like the over in this one. I had my mouth in my hand in my mouth, whatever the saying is. Foot in my mouth in the saying there. But I do like the over here. Again, whether or not Embiid plays, I like the over. But if Embiid does not play, I really, really like 216.5 a lot. I think the Celtics are going to D up a little bit better, but they're going to have to score the ball here because this Sixers team, Harden, Maxey, even Harris there, they can push the ball when they need to, and the Celtics team's going to need to keep up with that. So I'm going to lean towards the over. Also, the Celtics here on the spread, dependent on the Embiid news. And that is all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys do enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out.